This was back in 2002. And we got in for a diagnosis May 2nd. So I was really shocked, and I called my husband immediately, in tears, like, someone's taking a look and they think it's this. So I really took to the bed, as I like to say, for like 5 days of not really being able to cope. And I had a really hard time. My husband was great. He immediately was, okay, we need to figure out what to do. He never questioned that. So we started calling everywhere, and this friend of my friend Anne Marie said, I work for a place that provides ABA. Once I got my to-do list, then I was good. I was like on a mission, so that was my journey. But I did snap out of it pretty quickly. Paul just went on as it's always the same kid. It's just our daughter.
Two things strike me about that. One, your daughter is now almost 26, and she's a lovely human being. I know her. And you're tearing up as you're talking about this diagnosis a quarter of a century ago.
Right.
So it's emotional.
She still remembers the date of the appointment over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
it's defining.
It's defining. Sure. It is. And there are probably people watching this video right now who are at that stage where it's hard to even talk about it without tearing up.
I mean, there's no sugarcoating that it's difficult at the diagnostic stage. I think one of the really hard things is that there's no predicting with the diagnosis what your individual child's trajectory is going to be.
I was very fortunate to be where I was, know the people I knew, because I didn't have to look for long to have someone who had a lot of knowledge that could guide me.
Our early interventionist came and she asked me if I knew about ABA. After one meeting with our daughter, said, I think she could really benefit from ABA. Have you heard of that? I am by nature somebody who, once I know something, I would just like dive in as fast as I can and get as much information as I can. So I immediately set off on reading just about every book I could get my hands on. And some of those were very helpful, and some were more oriented towards parents on what we could do at home. But I also was looking for books that would tell me what this thing was, what this ABA was. So we probably started actually taking her to ABA when she was 3 years and 1 month old. So, and then it was, our recommendation was 40 hours a week. Which even in the psychologist who did the diagnostic thing, she even kind of warned against, like, don't let people tell you have to do this or have to do that, and you can set limits but I did all the reading as well and knew both the brain development. I mean, that just made a lot of sense to me.
I remember crying. The diagnostician, the doctor who diagnosed Ryan, said that we should put him in a 40-hour per week program. And I broke down in tears. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's 2. That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
A 2-year-old shouldn't have a full-time job. But I really came to appreciate that his time outside of therapy was not productive at all. In fact, it was destructive most of the time. And so he certainly wasn't learning anything, and he was maybe destroying things around the house because he didn't know what to do with himself.
There's definitely that, but then I think another thing in terms of, you said like seeing it made a difference for you. I mean, it's 40 hours a week, but it's 40 hours of them living, of them doing a lot of times what they would be doing.
What a typical child might be doing.
Yeah,
yes,
the learning is through play. Now, obviously, it's very structured and the therapist knows what they're doing, but to your child, they're still doing the things that they would be doing. So as much as it's like 40 hours, it's a full-time job, like my child was living her life of what a toddler should be doing. And the beauty of it being that she was learning skills at that point, because other kids do learn naturally through play. And my child at home wasn't doing that without that guided type of play.
What do we mean when we say that ABA is proven?
It works. Is a simple answer.
How do we know?
So there's lots of research showing that. For me personally, I saw it with my daughter. I saw it with other families that were at the clinic. I saw the change. And so the research wouldn't have mattered if I hadn't seen the change myself, but I wasn't going to take someone else's word for it.
What kind of words of emotional support might you offer parents who just had a child diagnosed or are early in their journey?
I did recently have a friend go through it, and the things I told her was the same things I was told, like, go ahead, you got to move quickly. But also on the more emotional side, I guess, your child's still your child. From moments before the diagnosis till after, or whenever it clicks in your head, whenever you realize it, they're still your child. And I think we're naive to say that there would be no grieving. There is some grieving there. And even in this world of we accept all neurodiversities, or however you want to do it, all of us have, great love for our children. But 1 year out from diagnosis, everyone I know who's been through it, they've grown so much, they've learned so much, and most everybody has moved past the fear at that point. And then there's a lot of beautiful things to celebrate as well about your child and the life that you have.
I would say there's help. I didn't think when we got the diagnosis, I thought that was it. And when I started realizing there's something that could help her reach her potential, that made all the difference. And because I think I would have just stayed in that grieving process and just more into a life that was never there. And so that help for us, and it wasn't just, ABA didn't just help her, it helped me parenting with my other child. Or these experiences, this life that she's lived, I honestly think all of that work on the front end, if we hadn't done that, she wouldn't have had those opportunities. So I feel if you ignore it, if you wait, you are shutting doors that then are no longer an opportunity for your child. And you have to get over the fact that 2 is little. You have to start early whenever you find out that diagnosis to get them as far as you can and launch them into their best life.